they
community hospital.
Also, the polling centers observing the process.
Jesus,
Organizer of the NPP Nana Akwatia, together with a former regional chairman of the NPP, Mr. Katakyie Fie, and a couple of NPP executives also observing the process. Now here is it. I can report that from morning, from dawn, since we started the monitoring, we've not encountered any incidents or any confrontation. Security is very tight here. Visibility is very clear. Right? All the entry points of the constituency and the exit points of the constituency have police checks. There are police patrol men on motorbike patrolling, men also in vehicle patrolling. I've seen an armored car here in the Wenchi area, and the police is doing its best. Most of the polling stations, I can count over 20, sometimes 20 or more police officers manning the place. People are not allowed to bring motorbike, especially in around the polling center. So these are some protocols that the police have been observing. The only concern is that turnout has not been too encouraging. People are walking in. Not too long ago, I observed, or I saw the wife of the late MP, Yao Kumi's wife, coming to vote at the Palace Square. She came alone, and after that, I saw her talking to people, encouraging people to turn out at the polling centers and then vote massively for the NPP candidate, Mr. Solomon Asubadu. I had a conversation briefly with Anigyie. It has appeared that almost all the party executives are okay with the security arrangement, but Anigyie is suggesting that even though they are okay with the arrangement, he suspects that mostly we have incidents getting closer to the close of polls before 5 thereabouts, and sometimes incidents also are recorded, sometimes at the collation centers. So it's just urging the ITP and those in charge of security to ensure that they tighten security, especially closer to the end.
And so Maxwell Kudeko giving us updates from the police station, and there we also have on the line Samuel Kojo Brace also coming to us from another part of Akwatia. Samuel Kojo Brace, what can you report?
Under the story building. I mean, this is where earlier the scuffle you heard about, the pulling down or the tearing of a poster, which resulted in that scuffle between a bodyguard of someone they saw in the company of Alexander Afenyomarkin, who is a minority leader, and Justin Kodia Frimpong, who is the general secretary of the MPP. He tore down a poster belonging to the NDC candidates, and that is the poster. I mean, he tore it from this pillar or this light pole, and then put it here, because to him, he thought that it was illegal for there to be a poster of a candidate at the polling center. But that didn't go down well with the NDC supporters, who rushed on him and questioned him why he did that. They wanted to understand the rationale behind it. I mean, it became a scuffle between the NDC supporters and that particular, bodyguard. But there were other bodyguards in the company of the minority leader who then intervened and tried to calm down tempers. But that was not something the NDC supporters were going to take. So they came here in their numbers, trying to understand from the guy why he did that, and they were ready. I mean, if you hear from their language, they weren't going to take any explanation. They just were here to confront the guy head on. But the police mounted a barricade in front of the polling station, and so they couldn't get access into the police station. And I mean, it took some minutes for the police to get this matter under control. They had to tame the NDC supporters, but the supporters were coming in their numbers. It looked like somebody called an army to say this was what has happened. So they were coming in their numbers, and we understand that it got to the party office, which is some distance from where we are, and it infuriated the supporters of the NDC, who were ready to confront this guy to ask, why did you do that? But eventually, I saw Justin Kodua Frimpong speaking to some young man who, introduced himself as a brother to the NDC candidate. He spoke to him to say, let's calm tempers down. And eventually, they left the scene. Justin Kodua Frimpong and the minority leader left the scene. The NDC supporters were here. They would not take any explanation. But after some time, they all left and incident gave me an indication of what could happen if the supporters of both parties are not spoken to. I mean, we are just picking information that there was some confrontation of a sort, not on a major scale, but on a lighter note at the Akwatia lorry station terminal. So this pocket of incident tells you what can happen if the police mainly I think it rests on the supporters of the main political parties. The police are here, they are doing everything they can to prevent anything like that coming, any escalation. But the supporters of the two parties have a major role to play. They need to speak to themselves to say, if anything will happen or not, it depends on what we do. And so, if you join me here, this is Arsising. This is where the scuffle happened earlier, because someone in the company of Afenyomakin and Justin Kodua tore down a poster of the NDC candidate, and the NDCs were not going to take any explanation for that. But so far, things have been coming here, just slight confrontations here, but not major confrontations. We are being told that from midday onwards, we will see how the situation will be. But the police, the IGP has been here. He stored the Akwatia lorry terminal and some other police stations, where he has reassured Ghanaians that his men are on this beat and they will ensure that this election goes without any major scuffle. And that's the hope that we have, that the IGP himself is on the ground and is ensuring that his men will live up to the promise they've given Ghanaians, that they want to make sure this election goes with no major, incident. So that's the hope that we have here, and we are still monitoring. So far, it's been calm.
Well, could you tell us how voter turnout has been from where you are talking to us from, as in Arsising and other areas you've been to? Unfortunately, we just lost Kojo Brace there, but let's go to Collins Frimpong. He's also joining us from Akwatia. Collins, where are you currently?
I am at Akwatia Community Day Senior High School, where the parliamentary candidate for the LDC, lawyer Vijay Person, is casting his vote 2 hours from now. So behind me is the polling center and also the community senior high school, where he will be coming around in 2 hours to cast his vote. But before then, we've been to quite a number of polling stations here. When it comes to the Akwatia, which the parliamentary candidate for the LDC comes from, we have 10 polling stations over here. And when you go to Kuse, which is also not far from his hometown, we have 7 polling stations around there. And in Akwatia, we've been to about 4 polling stations. And also in Kuse, we've been to a minimum of 3 polling stations there. And we've been engaging some of the voters, and we are quite optimistic that things will be going well for over here today. When it comes to the security-wise, everything is going on well. Every police station, we have seen quite a number of police officers around. And also right on the stretches, on the roads, in town, everywhere, you will see police personnel patrolling the areas. And one thing that we have seen, before I come to the voter turnout, Mame, is the fact that there are major roads in Kuse, especially that we've been to at least 2 major roads that construction are still ongoing. And according to our engagement with the residents, these constructions started less than a week ago. Some tells me that it started out 5 days ago. And even though some of them believe that it is a way that they are trying to get voters to come out and vote in favor of the NDC candidate, they believe that this is the first time, and quite a number of them that we spoke with, this is the first time that we are seeing major road construction ongoing within the Kuse area, just around the Akwatia, where the parliamentary candidate for the NDC comes from. And they believe that they will be voting based on that, because quite a number of them, what they do is Okada business. And now they believe, or according to them, according to their words, they will be able to wear white clothes. So they will continue to vote for the NDC candidate so that they will get an asphalt. We come to the Akwatia also, people are also happy that for the first time they are hoping that they will get an MP from their area. And we saw an 82-year-old who is not able to walk. She is also not able to talk, but she made sure that she will come around by the aid of her grandson. She came around and she cast her vote. And according to the engagement that we had with the son, this was made possible because of the treatment that they've had from the NDC candidates who have been taking care of her medication, medical bills, everything. So there is no reason for her to stay in the house. If her vote can help to bring an MP from her town, for them to get an MP for Akwatia, and the MP will hail from her town, she's going to do everything for that. In terms of the voter turnout, when we went to Kuse, some of the polling stations, about 500 people were expected to cast their vote. When you go to the funeral grounds there, about 450 people were expected to cast their vote. When we got there around 9 a.m., just around 25 people had voted. But also around the same Kuse Presbyterian School, we had where we had 500 people coming to vote. Less than 100 people had cast their vote at that time. But the institute officials were quite optimistic that a lot of people will be coming around, since things are very calm in the area and security-wise, everything is ongoing very well for them.
Thank you, Collins Frimpong. And let's go to Kofi Siao now. He's also joining us from there. Kofi, where are you and what can you report from where you are? Kofi, can you hear me? Do we still have Kofi on the line for us? Kofi, unmute and speak to us. We're still trying to establish connection with Kofi Siao. Kofi Siao, where are you currently and what can you report?
I'm currently in Akwatia, in front of the National Democratic Congress offices, constituency office here in Akwatia. And a while ago, we heard about some scuffle between the NDC National Vice Chairman, Soko Azota, and some followers of the minority leader, Afeni Markin. The information we had was that some followers of the minority leader had come here and they were, displaying posters of the NDC candidate here. So it took the intervention of Soko and his followers to prevent them from going ahead to destroy this process. So it was a scuffle between them, and it also involved the national National Vice Chairman of the NPP, Anigyie Fie. He was also here. And for a video I've seen, the National Vice Chairman of the NDC was in a scuffle with the NPP National Vice Chairman. It turned into a near chaos, but people around and the police officers also around ensure that peace was prevailed at the place.
Any of the voting centers to know what's happening there?
Okay, so I've been to a number of them. We started from Bodria at the Echo Park. There is a polling station there. There we saw that Sami Elku, the MP for Ekropong, and Justin Kodia Frimpong, who is the General Secretary of the NPP, were all around. And they were leading the NPP parliamentary candidate Solomon Owusu to visit some of the polling stations. We also went to Puedria Lorry Park, where the IDP and Sheikh Arimiao of the National Peace Council were also there to assess the situation over there.
Thank you very much, Kofi Sian, for that update. You're still listening to the live coverage of the Akwatia by-election on the Joy News channel and also Joy 99.7 FM on all our social media pages. And let's come to the studio now. And I have in the studio with me Kojo Poku of the NPP. You're welcome.
Hi, thank
Kojo.
you.
I believe you've heard what's happening in Akwatia, also observed what's been going on. What's your initial reaction?
Well, I want to make a quick comment on one accompanying the minority leader has to pull down. You see, look, we have always said that if elections are going to go smoothly, a lot depends on the EC and their security agencies.
Indeed.
The EC have gone to set up at a polling station. There are guidelines which regulate our elections. We know that there is a law in EC's regulations that does not allow campaigning materials at a certain distance to the polling station. And that is EC's regulation. The EC officials who set up in that polling station should have seen that where they are, there is a poster which violates the rules of the EC.
Let me interject you right here. I'll come back to you. We have Rashid Computer, the Deputy Election IT Officer for the NDC, joining us right now. Rashid Computer, welcome. What's happening? We understand Avenue marking is going around, pulling down posters near polling stations. These posters, why are they there in the first place?
Well, let me say good morning to you and your cherished viewers. You know, the desperation of the NPP has reached crescendo. They've said it severally. Their intention is to come and cause confusion, just to mar the beauty of the election today. They know they are losing the election. All their indication point towards that they will lose the election. So they are just creating confusion in the constituency. These posters were at that polling station long since, for about 3 weeks now. The posters has been there. Indeed, they also have their posters in other areas. Nobody has touched their posters. The fact that that place has been earmarked as a polling station doesn't mean that you should go there and remove those posters. And I'm surprised it's coming from my worthy brother. Look, yesterday, a location where we did our training of party agents and deployment, today that place has been used as a polling station. We have to vacate the place. The EC can decide to pay. They have their dedicated polling station, which are gazetted. And so if a poster is there at that place, if the posters has been there for all this while, there was no problem. It is not disturbing anything. In any case, are they voting for posters today? Is it today that a poster will not indicate people how they should vote? What kind of mentality are we giving to Ghanaians? just creating unnecessary tension, causing fear and panic for nothing.
But Mr. Computer, you understand that these posters are not supposed to be in close range to the polling stations, especially on the day of voting. Those posters shouldn't be close to the polling stations. Do you not agree? And these are regulations of the Electoral Commission.
The posters has been at that polling station for all this while. Is it because today is a voting day?
Indeed.
The posters has been there.
So the NPP disagree that these posters should be there near the polling stations. In fact, the EC is against these polling stations, not even marketing any candidate for that matter close to the polling station. So wouldn't it have been wise to at least not let these posters be near the polling stations to, at least prevent these things occurring?
Yeah, I am saying that it is not only that polling station you have these posters. Even we have indeed a polling station which is very close to MPP office. In Wenchi area. Have we raised any qualms about it? Have we asked that they should remove their office from that place? Have we asked that they should remove their office from that place because it's very close to the polling station with all their party colors and all over the place? You see, when we go that path, then we will make sure that all offices which are close to polling stations should be taken off from that place. We might be descending to some absurdity. That polling station, the posters has been there. Indeed, it's not the only NDC poster which is there. There are other party posters which are there. Their own presidential candidates who are there last edition. There are some of them, their posters are over that place. Why did they didn't go to remove those ones?
Well, right about now, we know that there have been scuffles at a few polling stations, especially on these posters. How are you resolving these issues? Are you also trying to calm the atmosphere there so that it doesn't, result in any form of violence?
Well, we have spoken to our teams. We have spoken to our field officers to calm nerves. I can assure you it's calm now. I mean, peace has been restored to those areas. It's just unfortunate that this thing had to come to this level. I mean, it's unnecessary. I mean, how does posters today influence voters at that polling station? Doesn't mean that it's coming to belittle the minds of the voters in Akwatia. They have made their decision already. They don't need to come and see a poster here before they vote.
You cannot determine what someone is thinking or what will influence someone at that point in time.
I am saying not at this level. Our voters have matured from 92 up to now. We have gone past that stage. There are people who won election without necessarily putting up posters. In Ghana, we know them. I can count to several of them necessarily putting up posters. In Ghana, we know them. I can count to several of them without even putting up even one single poster. They voted them overwhelmingly. It happened severally. Although, yes, the posters are there to market you, but it's not the one that will lead you to win the election. Okay, so if they are thinking that is a poster that, then they've lost the election in advance.
But at least you agree, if it's still on the posters, you do agree or admit that it shouldn't be in close range to a polling station, right?
Yes, we do agree that, look, where the ballot box is a polling station, you don't supposed to have any party effigies around that place. Yes, we do agree. And I'm saying that if we are to go that tangent, in Wenchi, their office is very close to a party office. There's a polling station. That one, should we ask them, they should remove that party office from that?
You're talking about a party office. We're talking about a polling station.
The party office have pictures of MPP. They have pictures of MPP colors all over the place. Isn't it the same thing? What is the difference?
Well, these posters in near polling stations currently, will something be done about it?
I'm saying that, how does that disturb the election?
The NPP, the person you're contending with, is in disagreement with it. It also breaches the EC regulations.
They wanted to go that tangent. I'm also giving an example.
So at least for peace to prevail, don't you think that at least they should be removed?
Why should they remove it? If they remove it, we'll go to Wenchi and ask them they should bring bulldozers for us to pull down their party office.
Well,
that's what they are looking for. Their party of which is close to a polling station, we will then ask that, okay, government should also get a bulldozer to us to go and pull it down. because it's also close to polling station, that has pictures of NPP colors and all over the place. Let's pull that one down.
That is an unfair...
You remove our poster, we'll pull down their building. Is that what they are looking for?
Well...
That's not what we are looking for. That's why I'm saying that since yesterday, we've been getting intelligence about their behavior, and they've started playing it today.
What kind of...
They brought tax. They brought tax and housed them in their location to cause mayhem today. The state security is on their heels. Little do we know that their leadership is even going to be the first front in causing this thing. And you saw it this morning. All these things is caused by the leadership of the party. Now, if they are doing this, what are they telling the tax they brought? They will arrest all of them.
And
they should come out with this kind of thing.
With this intelligence, have you reported that to the police then?
Of course, we have. We can't keep it to ourselves. We quickly went and informed the police, and gave them details, the people, because we all pledged that we are going to go by the police deployment plan, and they are to protect everybody here. That is why the NDC is standing by. So we have not brought anybody to protect us. We are relying on the police to do their work. But since we are hearing our opponents are going to do this, the best thing is to report to them. We have reported to them and told them that, look, this is what we are hearing. They are bringing this in. We don't want problem. Go into it, investigate it, and let's see what happens. Well, and little do we know that their leaders are going to be the people who are going to start it. Why should the leaders descend themselves to foot soldiers and be behaving this way?
All right. Aside these scuffles, how would you rate the voting so far?
Oh, it's been very peaceful. The people are trickling in. The voters are coming in their numbers. The whole place is... Apart from this minute issue that they just want to hype it and create confusion all over the place. Apart from that, the whole place has been very peaceful. The police are doing a fantastic job. They are there. They are not interfering in anything. They make sure that the voters will come and they are processing them, they are voting and leaving. It's been very peaceful. If we continue this process, I can assure you by the close of the day, we are going to have one of the peaceful elections that we can think of. We only want our opponents to do that. They should stop this last-minute But
Mr. Tanko, I'll play back a video for you quite very soon. But before then, the question too is, you have a majority in Parliament. Why are you insisting that you win the seat by all means?
Well, the laws of the country talks about representation. It didn't talk of majority. They say representation of the... And to make sure that the people are properly represented in Akwatia, not the illegal representation that occasion in 2024, which we contested in court.
Mr. Tanko, computer, please watch this video for us, and those on radio can listen in. This is Henry Nanabuache making some comments.
Close of the day, the seat becomes ours.
Some will say it's not a safe seat, so it could go either way.
But this time around, everybody is voting for a development. And looking at things, we cannot repeat mistake for having government in power and then the MP also will be on the other side. Meaning that we don't want to have a development in a constituency, and that will be a thing of the past. So Akwatia people are eager to vote massively for the government in power to make sure the parliamentary candidate wins the seat. So
Apenyumakin was here earlier. He believes that, he said that before, that your party is not being fair to the MPP because they give you Tamale Central, you should give them Akwatia.
Oh, but that is his own prerogative. I will not say because they have given out. Maybe they could have the margin difference, here in Akwatia. We are not looking at because they have given us the Tamale Central, so we should also give ours to them. It's not fair for him to make such a statement.
But finally, comparing, the MPP's tenure and also your tenure in the constituency, would you say that you've championed more development in the area, and what can you point to?
Of course, because as an opposition MP, my president was not in government. I did not even have the DC in the district from my party. So I see myself as an opposition MP, if I should say so. And then in terms of development, I did well. I will not speak for myself. The projects are there to see. They are visible. That when you go around, you ask the community, the electoral areas, they will tell you in terms of education, in terms of health facilities that are put in place, emergency ward, chip centers, and then the education school buildings that have also put in place in the electoral areas to support the education challenges that we have in terms of infrastructure. I've done a lot of work over here that I will not speak for myself. When you go around and you ask the people, they will tell you and you see them. Exactly so. Exactly so.
You're also here with Honorable Woyome, and I'm wondering, Honorable, why you left the Volta region just to come to this side of town.
No, but well, again, good morning to your viewers and everybody who is listening to us. This is a duty call. First and foremost, a member of this party, NDC, and we think there's a need for us to secure this seat because I have relatives here in Akwatia. A number of my diasporan Voltarians are here, and so you realize that they have a key stake in what is happening, and they will need the help of all of us to ensure that we can support and get the developments coming, because they need the roads. And with what my brother just said, of course he has done a lot in opposition, and so it ought to be built on. And now that Ejumara himself has come, being in the saddle up there, he wants to see one of his own that easily can come to him and then discuss Akwatia issues with him. That is not to say that he's closed his doors to the opposition members of parliament, but as to whether they will be willing to come to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and talk about their issues is another matter. And so, it's just important. And so, imperative that we come talk to the people, and so that they do what is.
Are you confident that the NDC would win at the end of the day?
Absolutely, because I think they've done a lot of work. I've listened, gone round, and we've talked to a number of people. We went to homes, we discussed, I went to palaces, and I think the call is, yes, they want to go along with the Green. But let me just put it this way. You asked my brother a question earlier concerning why Akwatia was saying that, okay, they gave us Tamale Central, and they were thinking that to play a fair game, we should also allow them to have the... Look, I think they should even thank NDC because they are trying to imitate or emulate us, because we did similar when our brother John Kuma passed. Ejisu, we wanted to contest, but we withdrew because of what had happened. So it's not new. It's not new. We will do an analysis of the situation and see that the people that are here, I just mentioned, the rank and file of the constituency, we want to go green. And so they would want to insist that somebody must contest. I mean, this is a down-top discussion. You understand? So it's not like the people up there will decide, okay, we are not going to contest. When the people here are yearning that, look, they want to now go green because they had made some mistake and they want to correct things, I think it's just better to respond to their...
Finally, there are thousands and scores of people watching us at home. What would you want to share with them?
Well, I'll just tell them that this election will go smoothly.
Well, Mr. Computer, we've heard from former MP for Akwatia, Henry Boakye, and also Mr. Woyome, being in the constituency, also rallying support for your candidate. How significant are these old members of your party, campaigning for your candidate in Akwatia?
Very well. We consider Akwatia by-election as a communal labor. It's a communal labor because we need to rescue them and reset the constituency properly for them. They made a mistake in 2024. I will not even describe it as a mistake because it was rigged. And because they allowed themselves for the election to be rigged for MPP. This is an opportunity for them to rewrite the wrong. That occasion in 2024. They have gotten a glorious opportunity. So we invited our comrades across to come and assist, to make sure that we rescue them. Yes, they need to be developed. And this is the time, this is a glorious opportunity. And you can see it is all over the place. We're busy mourning of our dead, our beloved who died in the plane crash. While they took over, they were all over the place, creating all pandemonium. When we came in just last week, we've turned the whole place green. Yes, we sold the message of His Excellency and they bought it. John Dramani Mahama, he's doing fantastic, and the people are satisfied with it. They want to give him a candidate who will come and sit with the majority in parliament, and so that he can lobby with government appointees, agencies and departments to bring development to them. And also, it's welcome news for us. We are happy with it. and they are all over the place, monitoring and observing the process. Very peaceful. Nobody is interfering in anything. We just want to make sure that the right person is elected, and the right person today is lawyer Bernard Bediako.
And all of a sudden, we've seen road constructions and other developmental projects ongoing in Akwatia just days to this election. Was that always the plan? Or really this close to the election?
Well, we are not like NPP. We have not started any new project here. We have not come with bulldozers and other things to do any road construction here. Indeed, what the assembly is doing, they have the drip, the drip equipment that the NPP brought. They didn't pay even a peswa. We are going to pay for it. So we should allow the drip equipment to be lying down as white elephants. No, the assemblies are putting them into good use. So the assembly is using them. That's part of their business. It's not from National. National has not brought anything. Ministry of Roads from Accra has not brought anything, any contractor or equipment to come and do anything here. It is the use of the drip equipment to try, because this time the rains have started in rain. Most of the places are not more trouble. So they are using the drip equipment to open up the places. That's their routine thing they are doing. It's not because of the by-election. In fact, this by-election, we have not come to start any new project or anything so that the people will think that because of by-election we are doing it. No, we are not like NPP. We have learned our lessons from the past. And we saw what they did at Kumewu and Asin North and how it hurt them. We will not go that path. We are not into it.
Right. Thank you so much, Mr. Computer, for your time here on Joy News and Joy 99.7 as well. Let's come back to the studio. Kojo is here. I believe he has so much to say.
Well, I hope you give me the time to also say it, because the interruption doesn't help. Look, I'm very sad that he is an officer of a party, but I don't blame him. Like I was saying earlier, I blame the security agencies and the EC officials, because CI 127 clearly states the rules of the engagement. As officer of EC, when you go to a polling station, now as per his words, right, if I go to brand an area, knowing very well that on a day of an election, that particular spot is what? A polling station. I go and brand that area in the colors and the pictures of a candidate. And the EC come, would they assemble there and still hold the polls, or they will tear down the branding? The EC will tear down the branding, wouldn't they? So the issue is that him saying that there is a party office near a polling station, and his thought, his malicious thought is to go and pull down the party office instead of petitioning EC to move the polling station. Which one is easier? There's a polling station in a certain distance to a party office. You will say that, I'm sorry, EC, this is not allowed. There's a party office which is branded right there that can be seen, so please move the polling station. But his malicious thought doesn't go there. Where does it go? It goes to pulling down. I don't get it. And this is a person who is an officer of a party. Look, I don't blame people. And because if the EC has done its work, you see, when we say that when we go to polls and there are problems, it's not that everything is gone well. The police is doing their part. The police maybe doesn't know the EC regulation. They don't know the CI 127. But the EC officials know the CI 127.
They do.
So they should have gone when they saw that there were posters in close proximity, be it for MPP or NDC. It should be pulled down. Well, it doesn't have to take Afenyo Markin and his people to come and enforce that regulation.
We'll have to hear, to be fair, we'll have to hear from the EC officials.
Well, yes, you can, but the point is that we all know the regulation. CI 127 is clear, right? And we know the proximities. So Afenyo Markin, who sits in Parliament and knows these things, is not doing anything wrong. But for the gentleman to suggest that, oh, it was put there weeks before. So what? EC like I said, I can brand, because we all know where the polling stations are. If that becomes the norm, then 3 weeks before election, we all go and brand areas that we know are polling stations. Then on the day of the election, EC will have no option to sit there and do polling in the glaring view of campaigning. That is why we are not allowed to wear any campaigning materials on election day. I can wear a party t-shirt to vote. Why is that? He is saying that people are much discerning. We know Ghanaians are discerning, but there are rules there for a reason.
But would you also say the approach by the minority leader was a bit too...
No, it's not. You tell what approach? You see,
maybe the minority leader could have approached the EC
and tell the EC and tell the EC to pull it down.
The police, as you
tell them to pull it down.
Yes.
Well, that's fine.
Of him.
Well, that's an option. But the point is that in Ghana we have something called a private arrest. Right? You can either engage a security service to enforce the law, or you can enforce the law and report it. It's allowed. Right? If you see somebody stealing, you can't leave that person to steal, the person breaking the law. If you see somebody breaking the law, you cannot leave the person to break the law and go report it by the time that if you can actually do a citizen arrest. A citizen has a right. Yes, a citizen arrest. So in this case, a citizen arrest is what? A citizen has a right to enforce the law.
Enforce the law in tearing down the posters when it's maybe somebody...
No, what I'm saying, it's an option. Yes, I agree with you that Honorable Afenyo Marke and his team could have alerted the EC and said, look, why are you guys allowing a poster in a close proximity of the station and the polling station? And that's one option. The other option is also allows the citizen to enforce the law. So the citizen can enforce the law. It's allowed.
So, I mean, in this situation, I know there's citizen arrest, but enforcing the law, going on your own account to pull it down, and in this situation, would you still involve the AC when you decided to go ahead and...
Well, that's what I'm saying, that there are two approaches. I'm agreeing with you that Honorable Afenyo Markin and the team going around should have just raised their hand and said, EC, this is not allowed. Can you please do something about it, right? And EC may or may not...
Which could have also prevented...
Well, I agree, but may or may not have done anything about it. But what I'm saying is that it doesn't also preclude the option of somebody enforcing the law as a citizen. We all know what the laws are. You see, there's something called not knowing the law is not an excuse.
Yes.
Right? So you commit a crime and you say, oh, I didn't know it's against the law. It's not an excuse. The fact of the matter is that the reason that is because the law presumes that everybody should know the law. That's why if you don't know it, it's not an excuse. So you going to beat someone and say, "Oh, I've never been told that beating somebody is misdemeanor or whatever," right? The fact of the matter is that I agree with you. They could have raised their hand and asked the EC to deal with it, but they can also deal with it. If they're dealing with it and the NDCs are not happy, and listening to my friend who spoke, clearly he doesn't agree with anything MPP. But you should agree with things which are the law. And when you pushed him, he agreed that it's wrong to have those posters. But then he's equalizing to say that, oh, MPP has something somewhere and there's a polling station close to. You are not doing your work. You should object to that polling station being that close to an MPP office. You should object to it. If you don't object to it, that's your own problem.
Well,
and let me go on to talk about this thing that keeps coming out from the NDC camp. Oh, they will vote with us. And in summary, what they are saying is that the Akwatia people should vote with them for development. Meaning that all the constituencies that don't vote for NDC, they won't be developed. And it keeps ringing. No, it's just ringing through a lot of... Look, yesterday I was on quite a number of platforms, and they keep saying that look, the Akwatia people will vote with us and come and sit. And in summary, what MDC is saying, that constituencies that do not vote for them will not get development. That's what they're saying. But look, when Nanado said it, They went on the rampage that, listen to Nanado. Nanado said it in one time when he said that he brought an MP. The people, there was some chiefs that paid a courtesy call to him. They went on rampage.
But
and now, but well, they are explicit as well. We don't, you see.
No, but he said that, he didn't say that other constituencies
let's
be fair.
It is fair.
Then they say that if you don't vote for the NDC, there will be no development in those constituencies.
No, but you see, there is a saying in the negative and there's a saying in the positive, which means the negative.
You can interpret it.
That's what it is. That's why interpretation. If you say that, okay, so let me say, they will listen to this. They know what to do. They will vote NDC so that they sit for us. They sit with us for development. What does it mean? That if you don't sit with us, then what?
So leave it to others.
No, I'm not. I'm saying it because that is why we are there. We are there and we sit on this panel to educate Ghanaians to say that, look, let's stop this blackmailing. Let's stop this. It's not necessary. Because overwhelming majority they have across the country. Take your cameras around the country and see if there's any development in the last 8 months in any constituency. There's nothing. And I'm happy they are now praising the MPP for bringing drip. Okay? The drip innovation that we brought, the machines that they made so much noise about is today what they are using. Right? Is the MPP's idea, is the MPP's innovation. We brought the drip machines to now procure excavators, construction equipment for every district. The most innovative idea ever. Okay? And they are enjoying it. They are saying that we are going to pay for it. Of course, it's Ghanaians that pay for everything. The we is Ghanaians that pay for it. It wasn't the we, it's not NDC that pays for it.
Yeah.
You understand? So when NPP bought it, it was to be paid for by who? By Ghanaians. So I don't get the point that he was making. The taxpayers' money. So I don't get the point that he was making that they didn't pay for it and we are to pay for it, implying that the we is what? The NDC? No, it's not. It's Ghanaians. So the point is that I'm happy. He's acknowledging the fact that some party has innovation. In 8 months they've not released money to anybody. They've not done any project. We've seen the kind of uproar, the demonstration that has to go on for them to even go on the Amasaman Road, right?
But if we're talking about Akwatia, they've been, they've been in office for about
8 months.
Is it fair to rate them that?
I'm saying that. What I'm saying to you is that in the last 8 months,
yes,
they've not those that voted. What I'm saying to you is that in the last 8 months,
yes,
they've not those that voted for them in 7th December 2024 are still waiting for whatever goodies that were promised them. The whole Ghana is promised some things. We are still waiting, right? In the last 8 months, there's been a budget read. We are going to have the next year budget in 2 months' time, in November, right? And we are still waiting for the goodies that NDC promised. In fact, look at Ghana today and look at the NDC in the last 8 months. Most people think they've been done the 419 because so far, nothing. In their first budget, Honorable Atoforsen is being Uncle Ato. He's not releasing any money, and they are complaining. It's not for me to say. The NDC ministers themselves are complaining heavily.
Really? What are they saying?
Because Atoforsen is not releasing money to anybody. The ministries. And what is even added to it that is creating a problem, my sister, is that in theory, it's a good thing. In practice, it doesn't work. You cannot ask all ministries to come to you before they initiate any project. And the idea is that they will set aside the money. So if you want to go and weed, come to Atoforsen, let him set aside the money for the weeding. If you want to do any project, you have to go to Honorable Atoforsen for him to set aside the money before you can start the project. And go and find out from the ministries how that is working out. Because when you...
This government is spending.
They are not spending. Now go and read the media budget. I don't need to tell you that. We saw the media review, right? The media review told us clearly that he is behind on a lot of statutory payments. He is behind a lot on releasing money to ministries. The money that he's budgeted for the year, he's not spending it. Today, we are hearing that in the last 8 months, they've borrowed over $10 billion and added to our what do you call it? Our debt. Right. So look, they have problems. But look, we have 4 years to go to talk about this. Today is just a sideshow. Let's concentrate on the good people of Akwatia.
Right.
And we think that the good memory of Eniskumi, Honorable Eniskumi, will be honored. Akwatia will vote MPP, and we hope that it goes well and there's no violence. But in any case, like someone said, why are they even contesting here? Well, they have a right to contest. I don't think that we thought we would not contest Tamale Central. They felt they would contest.
Is it too late to change your mind?
No. We are not going to. We did it not on because we wanted them to also give up Akwatia. No, it's not. We did it on principle of the Honorable Mutale's death. And we feel that Ghanaians should be spared the pain of a contest.
Party members agree with you?
Not all, but it's not. If everybody agrees with me, then we don't have.
Should at least test the grounds to see if your party.
If everybody agreed with me in a political party, we will not have a political party. The political party says that people agree and some don't agree. So the idea of people disagreeing is why we have a political party.
Right.
The fact of the matter is that the hierarchy, the senior and the top have sat down and agreed that we are not going to do it. We're not going to change our mind because of Akwatia. They win Akwatia. Look, at the end of the day, it will not be the end of the world. But hopefully, the Akwatia people would honor their mind and the spirit of Honorable Eniskumi. But the NDC, for me, on ground, the message they have, they should stop it. I mean, vote for us to get development. Meanwhile, development, the drip machines you are using to do the road is our machine, and the people know that.
All right, Kojo, please let me go on the phone lines and come back to you. We have on the line Nana Kwabena Mensah Abrampa, and observer. We're grateful for your time, Mr. Abrampa.
Good morning.
Yes. So far, I believe you've been observing what's happening in Akwatia. What would be your reactions?
Well, let me say a very good morning to our listeners, and especially those who are following the Akwatia by-election. So far, so good. When you use your checklist for observing election, you expect that at the right time, the polling stations are opened. You have the required number of polling observers there, including party and candidate observers available. The security is there. All materials needed for voting are available. In that sense, out of the 119 polling stations, we did not hear any news that the voting center opening was delayed, nor did we hear anything about shortage of materials. And the security agencies are also were also present. So for that, we say
is becoming a major issue or concern for the NPP in Akwatia, even with the minority leader Alexander Afenyomarkin rules, the EC regulations. Do you think that's the right approach, or even the NDC posting or?
In the elections law in Ghana suggests that 24 hours to the polls, anything that is to campaign, whether it's a paraphernalia, a poster, a message, song, or anything that is played or projected to show some presence or campaigning for one or other political party is outlawed. And therefore, we don't expect some of these things to be within the vicinity of the police.
What will you make of the minority leaders' approach in dealing with the situation?
Well, we have security set up. We have election security. The election security is not there to only prevent physical violence. They are there to forestall peace. So any of these happen, is the concern of the election security. So I expect whoever has a problem with a display of a banner, poster, or any campaigning material within the vicinity, approach the street press, tell the commander or the election official to be able to deal with it. The Electoral Commission has their district office within the constituency. So any of these situations can appropriately deal with it. You know, when you try to take out the poster, it ignites conflict because it's not everybody in the constituency who is aware of the law. And therefore, they might think you are doing something to gain advantage or to destroy their paraphernalia. That's why it's important that you don't yourself take poster. You report to the appropriate authority to do that so that it does not generate any form of conflict in the area.
Well, the interesting thing too is that should it, be Afenyomarkin reporting this, the Electoral Commission has been on the ground even before today. Should they have gone ahead to remove those posters before the NPP got there?
I don't know why it is still there, because one of the reasons why the Electoral Commission has the inter-party advisory committee within the local area, it are some of it. That's why the I identify. So some of these is are taken care of within the constituency without resorting to national executive. So the East Director knowing where polling stations are going. So you know the polling here is a polling, and therefore you shouldn't have any such happen. Or any of members of two parties or any citizen at all who is aware of the law should have elected the to the right.
Well, let's talk about the voting. It doesn't look like the turnout has been what was expected, the hype around this particular election, and you don't see too many voters lining up to vote. What do you make of the outcome? I mean, it's early hours yet, but still.
Yes, it's unusual. Single constituency elections, just by-elections and elections that generate very heavy outcomes. You can talk of a Katakyie election and talk of any of the by-elections that have come. Either it matches the general elections that turn out, or sometimes goes beyond that. The reports have been monitoring from all media have suggest that the queues at police are not encouraged, and we might record a very low turnout. We yet to assess why, because one of fears of deployment of heavy security is that people who are so much afraid of electoral violence will not turn out because the deployment of heavy security itself signals potential violence, and therefore they would like to stay away. Another theory also counters that deployment of security also just, and so we need to check this. That's why the turnout is not going as expected, especially personal constituency elections, where campaign has they are not executive